Good morning everyone. I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. Today on this remarkable day of independence, it is indeed an honor to have with us a distinguished guest who is a champion of equality, leadership and empowerment. Today we have a privilege of inviting a man of remarkable accomplishments, a true beacon of change and an inspiration to all the aspiring civil servants. He is none other than A.Vidyasagar garu, an IAS retired Special Chief Secretary of Andhra Pradesh. His journey is a testament to his unwavering determination towards upliftment of marginalized communities, empowerment, women empowerment, and promote social equality. From his early days of being student leader to the illustrious career as an IAS officer, his determination and dedication is evident in every endeavor he has undertaken. He is a pioneer of many initiatives that not only transformed lives but ignited hope and resilience within our society. So we all believe that by inviting Sir to share his vision, his experiences and valuable insights, we can offer a valuable opportunity of exchange of knowledge and inspiration. So without any delay, let us have a small AV on Vidyasagar Sir.
తన కోసం బతికే వాళ్ళు కొందరు, తన చుట్టూ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు కూడా బతకాలని అనుకునేవారు మరికొందరు. అత్యున్నత స్థాయిలో ఉండి అట్టడుగు వర్గాల గురించి ఆలోచించే ఆదర్శవాది ఆయనే రిటైర్డ్ ఐఏఎస్ డాక్టర్ అంగలకుర్తి విద్యాసాగర్. పేరులోనే ఉన్నట్లు సాగరమంత విజ్ఞానాన్ని ఔపాసన పట్టిన విద్యా పుంభావ సరస్వతి, వినయంలో మహతి, అంచెలంచెలుగా ఎదిగి స్వయం కృషితో కలెక్టర్ అయ్యారు. ఉద్యోగం చేస్తే తన కడుపు మాత్రమే నిండుతుంది. అందుకే నలుగురికి ఉపాధి కల్పించే సంకల్పంతో చింతపండు ప్రాసెసింగ్ యూనిట్ ద్వారా చుట్టుపక్కల మహిళలకు ఆదాయ తెరువు అయ్యారు. పనుల కోసం కాళ్లరిగేలా కలెక్టర్ కార్యాలయం చుట్టూ తిరిగే సామాన్యుల కోసం రూల్స్ మార్చేశారు. అధికారులని అర్జీలు పెట్టుకున్న వారి చెంతకు పంపించి వాళ్ళ సమస్యల సాధనకు కృషి చేశారు. విశాఖపట్నంలో నష్టాలతో మూతబడ్డ ప్రభుత్వ పరిశ్రమాన్ని తన స్వాధీనంలోకి తీసుకుని అందులో ఔషధ మొక్కలను పెంచి స్థానికులకు మళ్లీ అందులోని పని కల్పించడమే కాదు, తిరిగి ఆ సంస్థ లాభాల బాట పట్టేలా చేసిన విద్యాసాగర్ గారి కృషి అనిర్వచనీయం. ప్రస్తుతం మనం ప్రధాన్ మంత్రి కౌశల్ వికాస్ యోజన స్కీమ్ గురించి వింటున్నాం. ఆర్థికంగా వెనకబడిన వర్గాలకు వృత్తి విద్యా నైపుణ్యాలతో శిక్షణ ఇవ్వడం. అయితే దీనిని 2 దశాబ్దాల క్రితమే ఆచరణలో పెట్టిన వ్యక్తి విద్యాసాగర్. నల్గొండ జిల్లా కలెక్టర్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడు మహిళా స్వయం ఉపాధి సంఘాలు ఏర్పాటు చేసి వాళ్లలో ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం పెరిగేలా చేశారు. రాజమండ్రి సమీపంలో నిర్జీవ ప్రాంతంగా ఉన్న దానిలో ఒక గ్రామం సృష్టించి అక్కడ హార్టికల్చర్, సెరికల్చర్, వ్యవసాయ పనులకు శ్రీకారం చుట్టారు. అధ్యాపకునిగా విద్యార్థులను తీర్చిదిద్దాలని అనుకున్నారు. కానీ తన తల్లి కోరిక మేరకు IAS కు ఎంపికై కలెక్టర్ అయ్యారు. 1956వ సంవత్సరంలో పుట్టిన విద్యాసాగర్ తొలుత IPS కు ఎంపికైనప్పటికీ ఆ పదవికి రాజీనామా చేసి 1984లో కలెక్టర్ గా పదవీ బాధ్యతలను చేపట్టారు. విద్యార్థి దశలోనే ఉద్యమాలలో చురుకుగా పాల్గొని అందరి సమస్యలు తనవిగానే భావించేవారు. తాడిత, పీడిత, దీన జనాలకు అండగా నిలిచి నీడనిచ్చే వృక్షమయ్యారు. కృషితో కలెక్టర్ అయ్యారు. కసితో సంచలన మార్పులకు వేదికయ్యారు. ఋషిగా మారి ఎందరికో స్ఫూర్తిదాయకులయ్యారు విద్యాసాగర్. తన పేరుకి తగ్గట్టుగానే వి అంటే వినయం, ధ్యా అంటే ధ్యానం, సా అంటే సాధనమున్న గర్వం, ఇసుమంతైనా లేని మానవత్వం పరిమళించే మంచి మనిషి. అందుకోండి మా హృదయ నమస్సుమాంజలి. ఏకం IAS అకాడమీ.
I would like to call upon Dr. A.Vidyasagar garu IAS on the dais. Now I would like to call upon Major SPS Obrai sir to felicitate Dr. A.Vidyasagar garu IAS.
పక్కన కూర్చున్నారు.
Please be seated, sir. Recently, we have conducted mock interviews for CAPF. Out of 20 who have attended mock interviews, 7 got selected. And luckily, we have Mr. Uday Teja, All India ranked 68 in Central Armed Forces with us. Let us take this opportunity to felicitate him by Sir Uday Teja. Thank you, sir. With no delay, let's start our interactive session with Dr. Vidyasagar, sir.
All the young citizens of this country and the aspirants of building a nation. And dear children, you are all children before me. Still, I don't want to call you as children because now you are all individuals. As individuals, you have a goal put for yourselves. Okay, now on the Independence Day, what is the most happiest thing I could observe is the equal number of girls in the group, equal number of girls. I think that is a one fascinating development in the participation or even entry of women in Indian civil services. If you see, I think now 34% of selected people are women. 24? 2022 results. So that means, say 84, 81, in 81 I was in IPS. So there in IPS, we had only one girl out of 120 people. Meera Borwankar. Her husband was, and he's not was, Gautam Borwankar. He was in IAS. Then on our batch, 84, for out of 140, there were not more than 10. Out of 140, you have only 10. But today, in 2022-23, 34%, and the day is not very far where girls would overtake. They'll cross that 50% mark. Why? Why this change? Not because they feel that it's a comfortable job or a prestigious job, because they have a kind of a feeling that I too can make a difference. If you see, take even only Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, all the girls are really doing wonderful things, and they are enthusiastic, they are courageous, and they have the desire to be with people. Not just like that sitting in the office earlier days, people used to think, what will women do? So that's why they should opt for the jobs which are desk bound. But today, women are doing everything. You know one thing, the world will be a better place when women not are given, when women take 50% of this world. and 50% of everything. That's why it's called you have half of the sky. In the universe, you deserve half of it. So that day should come quickly. That is the reason why in my village, my parents started a primary school, and once I got into service, slowly we made a kind of high school, Jilla Parishad High School. In 2017, it has become a regular Jilla Parishad School with a examination center. From 2017 onwards, it is the girls who are the toppers. Every year, without any exception, girls are the toppers. Why? And before that, the basic reason was upgrading that school is to make the parents realize lack of facilities cannot be an excuse for the parents to keep the girls at home after 6th class or 7th class. Since we have 10th class there, what is now happening is girls are able to convince their parents, I would like to study, I want to go further. So now all of them, they are in NIITs and they are in various, they are pursuing various courses. So there, what we have to remember is always we should create opportunities rather than making people feel inadequate or guilty or insufficient. Problem in our country is we don't create opportunities and we don't give equal access to all. We don't create opportunities, we don't give access to all, and we keep telling that you are not serious. You may be, even if you are very serious, it's difficult to clear the UPSC exam. UPSC exam, for the simple reason, from year to year, it keeps changing. I think if I take the exam now, I don't think I can clear it. It is so tough now. But at the same time, what we must remember is, you should not see it as just an exam. It's not just an exam. Number one, what you must remember is, at the national level, you should prove that you have a personality to tackle a problem at the national level. It's not just cracking an examination at the national level. There are many people who could top, but after that we don't know where they are. But there are people who could not really get that kind of a great ranks, but all those names which you hear, which you read in the newspapers, they're all from lower ranks, but having that kind of an enthusiasm, confidence in themselves. So now comes the issue of, you may say, sir, since you have cleared, you feel that it's very easy, and all the people who made it, they will always say that it's not that difficult and all that. No. Remember, once you have a taken decision means you have initiative in you. That means I shall do something different. You know pretty well it is difficult. You know very clearly it is tough. You know very well that it's at the national level. You know it's difficult. But what you don't know is you can make it. What you don't know is you can make it. How? Number one, this examination is not an examination to know what is the level of your knowledge. No, not that. It is an examination of testing your personality. What is the personality? Personality doesn't mean if it is a boy, height, weight, color, hairstyle. No, not that. If it is a girl, a bright girl, a beautiful girl. No, not that. Personality means how you respond to a situation. How you respond to a situation. All animals have only two options. What is that? Fight or flight. But human beings have third option. What is that? You can prepare yourself, capacity building. Human beings are capsules who are filled with different levels of the ingredients. Those ingredients are nothing but, number one, you should have confidence in yourself. That means I can. I can is not pride. I can is not a kind of arrogance. I can means you are trying to equip yourself to become a person who can withstand. It's called civil service. Why? Civil service means you have to work in the public. You have to solve a public problem. It's not just like that sitting in the chair giving orders. Or it is not the civil services means you will have a great bungalow and then good vehicle and then a large number of people following you saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. No, not that. You have to work in the public. That means what? You should be able to see the public before you as your, not as your subordinates, not as your beneficiaries, not as your dependents. They are your countrymen. They are your countrymen. Because of them you are there. Remember that. All of us, whatever is the level of our job, including the Prime Minister. A Prime Minister is there because people are there. Because people have problems, people have aspirations, and people have resources also. But unfortunately, there is a mismatch between these three. People who have the ability, they are not given an opportunity. People who are given an opportunity, that opportunity is not easily accessible. There is an interesting example. If you put a test to elephant to climb a tree, will it pass? It doesn't. Or if you put a test to fish to give a speech under the tree, can it? Giving opportunity doesn't mean giving an opportunity to the elephant to climb the tree. Is it an opportunity? It's an opportunity. It's not an opportunity. It's an absurdity. The height of absurdity. Similarly, expecting a fish to give a speech under a tree also equally absurd. So that's why, remember, you have crossed the first level, that is, you have decided, yes, I want to be in public life. So once you have decided means you are different from many people of your age group, having an equal circumstances. Still, you have taken a decision. Maybe at this point of time, what you may be having is that it's a tough exam. There will be many people, year after year, it's getting very complex, difficult. How can I crack it? Remember, the competition of that year is commensurate with the world changing outside. When we were taking the exam, they didn't ask questions like, say, giving a question or even 2-3 questions together and then giving again 4 answers, and then in the end asking you to choose between which 2 are the right answers. That means to read the question itself, it takes time. It takes time. And comprehending all this, it's not that easy. But then you are in a new generation. Remember, you are a new generation. Now the country has new needs. People have new aspirations. You are a newer generation. You are generation what? You are called generation Z. You are not X, you are not Y. You are generation Z. You know, what are the characteristics of generation Z? They are restless. They want to do something new. They want to do something different. They want to do things all the time. And they want to find a solution. It's not, they don't do all these things for the heck of it or for the fun of it. They want to find a solution. See, today you have apps for every problem. For every problem. Who are those people? They are not having 2-3 brains and 4 hands and 4 legs, or even with 2 legs having iron steel mixture. No, they are ordinary people. What all they observed is that there is a problem. The earlier generation used to say, you accept it. But this generation is saying, why? Why should I accept it? No. Let me find a solution. I will give you simple examples from our own days. Those days, polyester entered the market, cloth market, textile market. Polyester is very light material, isn't it? It's very light material. So, but at the same time, it was cheaper compared to terylene. And terylene, though looks class, but it's not comfortable to wear for a longer time. But whereas polyester is a mix of cotton and that whatever is that poly material. Since it is light and also inexpensive, sarees used to be made with the polyester cloth. since it is light material, what used to happen, the edges of the saree used to lift up when they are walking in the wind or in the rain. Everybody used to give a solution that why do you wear that? Someone thought that's not the solution. You can't simply say, why do you wear that? He found a solution. Okay, it's the right material. It's inexpensive. People are preferring it. So what should we do now? He came up with an idea called saree fall. Solution is simple. But you didn't know it is simple till that fellow said, just stitch another cloth behind that anchu or whatever it is, the border. Problem is solved. That fellow is the person who belongs to Z. You should not just feel restless. You should not just feel that you want to do something great without having a kind of an open mind, how to find a solution to a problem which everybody is saying it cannot be solved. So, that is the meaning of when I said your personality. Whether you fight or flight, take a flight. Or third thing is find a solution by preparing yourself. Preparing yourself means capacity building, building yourself. So now you are in the second stage. How can you build yourself? Remember, though it is an exam, don't keep in mind all the time you have to crack an exam. First and foremost thing, you should read to learn, not to remember. Remember, read to learn, not to remember. Once you have that kind of an idea, you are loading your mind, you are pressurizing your mind. First read. First read to know what is this. Then next read. What does it say? Third time, read just for the heck of it, for pleasure of it. Reading for pleasure makes you an everlasting and ever expanding storehouse. Read every nonsense. You never know which nonsense would help you. Because these days, some of the question papers, some questions are, they remind you that nonsense also can be part of UPSC exam. We used to think that what kind of nonsense are these questions like, what is the floral design on Taj Mahal first gate or Taj Mahal left side wall and all that. We used to think that what nonsense. Do I read history just to know what kind of a floral design and what is the color of that design on the front wall of Taj Mahal? But then today anything can be a question. So that's why read nonsense. When you read nonsense, the idea is to enjoy reading. Don't read with that kind of a pressure. Don't pressurize your mind. When do you get that? You get that when you feel I'm not trying now just to get a job. I am going to take up a responsibility. I am going to take up a responsibility to solve the problems of my country. My country doesn't mean you need not go to Himalayas and then put a flag there and then shout Jai Bharat and I am going to do this, that. No. Wherever you are, work to the best of your ability. Wherever you are. This makes you what? When you feel that I have a responsibility and I have the capacity, and reading for the pleasure and at the same time creatively using that knowledge. Problems in public life they look simple, but if you go into depths, they are quite complicated, because especially in our country, we are more divided than united. Though we keep saying India is one, there are so many divisions, and unfortunately most of us divide a person by sex, color, caste, religion, which region, what language, and then we decide whether we have to take this person into count or we can just ignore. You have to outgrow this. Person in front of you is a person, is an individual. He has come to you with a problem, having the hope that you would solve his problem. When he comes to you with a problem, you should see his problem rather than the person. Unfortunately, many people are doing that. Don't get into that kind of a trap. Like, unless I know what exactly is the person, I cannot understand. It is the personality. If you see yourself as a person who got an opportunity to solve the person of your fellow countrymen, you get enthusiasm. If you feel that there is a lot of syllabus, how can I complete all this? How can I remember all this? And the two competition is very tough. Naturally, you are overburdening your mind. Don't overburden your mind. Enjoy. It's natural. When there is a problem, getting stressed is natural. But having stress up to a particular level is the ability only human beings have. Everybody gets stressed, and you need stress to a particular level to motivate you, to prepare you. You need stress. It's not that we can, if we are stress free, we can achieve. No, it's not true. There should be some amount of stress, but then it depends on you how you manage stress. Managing stress comes with relaxing consciously by equipping yourself, avoiding the flight mode. You prepare yourself to the fight mode. Fight mode means learning more, knowing more, talking to more people, so that forming forming an impression for yourself and then trying to make whether it is acceptable. You may have great ideas, that doesn't mean all the people should accept it. Unless you are able to express it. Why interview? The interview is basically to see whether you face a situation or you will just fumble. Interview is not just to test your knowledge, test your personality. That personality is nothing but how you respond. So, I have given you 3 steps here. Number 1, since you have chosen, you are different. Remember that you are different. Number 2, remember, since you have taken that decision, you have the capacity to believe in yourself that I can. But how to strengthen that idea of I can? You have to build yourself. That is capacity building. Capacity building. You have to make yourself a person competent, not a person who has the aspiration, who has the desire, and who keeps all the reading all kinds of books and get confused. No. Remember that when you are preparing, do not entertain doubts. Doubts in the sense, can I do it? I may not be able to. Or should I do something else? Don't entertain such doubts. Once you have started, keep going ahead. Never go back. And never keep changing tracks. Many people, they keep changing the tracks. That means they have wasted that much time in equipping themselves. Don't change subjects. Don't keep changing, the way you study. Don't keep changing your comfortable positions. You do things as you have been doing in the past. But the only thing is, when you are doing or when you are studying, don't entertain doubts. Second thing, do not have, if you feel sleepy while reading, sleep. Then once you get up, read. Never have that kind of a pressure. Pressurizing the mind makes you a confused person. Never be a confused person. So, that enthusiasm comes only when your mind is free. And enthusiastic mind will be creative. When you are creative, what all you are reading give you many ideas, new ideas. Material is the same. All of you are studying the same. But how you express differs because of your own creativity, your own ability to connect things, not giving facts. Anybody can give facts. But if you are able to connect things and give a new idea out of the old material, material is the same, but you should be able to give a new idea, new interpretation, and ultimately a new solution that makes you happy. When you do something new, you feel happy. When you are happy, you will be more creative. When you are creative, your brain gives you the solutions which you are feeling earlier. It's impossible. No. The brain at leisure will throw up various solutions. So that's why never pressurize your mind. Remember this. Don't think that, sir, you people, since you have crossed the, you can say anything. No. All the people, see for example, people who are heading international companies, how many pressures they must have been facing, and how many kind of challenges they must be facing. Still, they too have only 24 hours. They too eat the same food. They are also living in the same country, but how are they solving them? They keep their mind free. The busiest man is the laziest man. People, they feel great saying that I am busy. Nobody in this world can be busy. If you have a creative mind, you can never be busy. You will find time. You will find time, however busy you are, because you know what is the priority. Once you know the priority, you feel that which is to be done now, which can be done later. Ultimately, timing is important. So that's why remember always, equip yourself in a leisurely fashion. Simply because this examination has limited number of attempts, and this examination has a lot of syllabus, and this examination has limited time. If you pressurizing yourself, you will not be able to enjoy what you are doing. Enjoy what you are doing. I am not saying simply because I have cleared it. Many people have cleared it earlier. Many people would clear after you. Then put a question to yourself, why not me? Why not me? You should always question yourself. Any number of people have cleared it, and any number of people are going to clear it. Why not me? So with that challenge, start preparing yourself, not just to clear an exam, to solve a problem. That problem solving comes with your change in the personality. Change in the personality means equipping yourself. Instead of blaming it on somebody else, or instead of taking some excuses, accept it. Many people, they are in the habit of throwing it on somebody else. Like had I had various opportunities, I would have cleared it. Anybody would have cleared it. If you have all the opportunities, anybody would clear it. That's not the point. The point is, given the resources, given the conditions, and given the limitations, and given your own personal problems, and given your socio-economic background, these are all given. You can't change them now. But with these limited resources, how to achieve the maximum. That is the point. Who have achieved not because they have everything. They had nothing. All those people who have achieved are the people who had nothing. But what all they had was that kind of a determination. I think I shall do something. I should find a solution. Similarly here, these are the three things which you should remember. Number one, always be confident of yourself. Never lose confidence. Can I do it? No, don't entertain that kind of a doubt. First and foremost thing is believe I can. Number two, when you can, when you prepare yourself, that will not come from somewhere outside. You have to build yourself. While building, how it can be done, enjoy it. Rather than feeling the pressure, enjoy it. In your case, building means reading and gathering as much information as possible, comprehending it, and putting it as briefly as possible, at the same time making sense of it. Giving an extreme view is easier. Or saying that nothing can be done is very easy. But finding a solution with the given limited resources and finding a positive way of achieving things is what makes you a problem solver. So that's why never take excuses. Never take excuses, whatever is your condition. Whatever. Your first destination itself is the first step. Now you are in the coaching means you are in the second step. The third step is going ahead without entertaining doubts and equipping yourself with enthusiasm to achieve a goal that is not just to clear the exam, but to what? I shall take a responsibility to build this country in whatever way. Once you have that kind of a goal, that goal is not an immediate goal. Out of your 35 to 40 years of service, you should earn a name. You should earn a name. Whether you are a person who enjoys his position or a person who uses his position to find solutions to help as many as possible and think differently. Today, the problem of our country is not the resources actually, not resources. Problem of our country is not intelligence. Problem of our country is not technology. The problem is we are not really confident of ourselves. We seek approval from somebody, from some other country, some other people. Or we will go back to history. These days it has become a kind of ready-made solution. Our country has been ruined that days in the past. Because of that we are facing the problems. No. We were there in that history also. Nobody else has created that history. We created that history. Now it is our responsibility to find solutions to those problems created by history. When you have to find a solution to the problems created by history, is not to divide people, but to bring people together by saying, we are all countrymen, we are all one, together we can. We are all countrymen, together we can, and this country has everything. So you are going to be part of that, a great mission of making difference to this country. It's not just a job. Think that you are part of a mission. You are part of a mission. What is that mission? Making a difference to what? To this country. Where? Wherever you are. Wherever you are. There is an interesting ad, I think quite an old ad. Do your bit. What is the next line? Have any of you read that ad? Do your bit, keep the engine fit. Don't think that you should know all about the car mechanism. Whatever you can, do it to the best of your ability. Do not think that you should gather the whole knowledge about the whole universe to clear the exam. No. Whatever little you know, if you are able to put it to proper use, you should be able to put it to proper use. That is called spontaneity. You should be able to recall right things, that is right information at a required time. You may be having loads and loads of information. You must be thinking that you are working very hard, and 24 hours is not sufficient. Remember, with the same 24 hours, there are prime ministers who are easily forgettable. There are attenders, that is office subordinates, who made a name for themselves. Same 24 hours. Have you made? How you spend your time is most important to make you happy, make you confident, and make you useful. Ultimately, you should become a useful person, not just a person who gets a kind of a great job, enjoying and using it for his personal gain, or using it to take revenge against somebody. Not for this. I think to conclude, what I would like to say is, when I could become, I will give you briefly, they have shown you something about what all I did, but the point is, I would like to conclude with my own example. I come from the so-called remote village in Andhra Pradesh. My village is the last village in Prakasam district. And in our village, we don't get even drinking water. Whatever we get is fluoride water. The entire area is barren. Migration is the only source of employment in the entire area. People go to various places. My taluka is called, known as Kanigiri. Now it has become a revenue division. That Kanigiri has a unique distinction. You know what? From Kanigiri you have buses to Bombay, you have buses to Bangalore, buses to Nagpur, and from Kanigiri to various places. Kaniri to Bombay, it takes nearly a day. So wherever people could go, this depot has started running buses. So that is the place where you don't have readily usable resources. And again, unfortunately, it is the vocal leaders who could make things possible, but unfortunately there were no vocal leaders. The local leaders were not vocal leaders. That is the problem. They couldn't put this place on the priority list. We could get proper drinking water from Nagarjunasagar as late as 1990. Proper drinking water. Okay. From that village, my parents are basically primary school teachers, like all other primary school teachers. So there, up to 5th class, I was with my parents. But instead of, I was more in the jungle rather than in the school. Because I used to graze cattle. Even now I enjoy it. Rather than doing various other things, grazing cattle, taking them to forest, I like it more. So from that village, at the age of 10, I decided to go 200 kilometers away for my high school. That is basically because of the financial condition of my parents. Two parents earning not more than 120 rupees those days, that is 66, 67, with 6 children. So there was no option for me when they said you are going to join so and so hostel. I went there at 10 years old boy, changing 3 buses, traveling all the way and staying there for 3 to 4 months, because you have only 3 vacations, coming back only when there is vacation. So even then, I think perhaps that made me feel that I am on my own. I never blamed my parents. I never blamed anybody. And I never pitied myself. Hurry, what kind of pitiable situation I am in. Never. So it went on. So I cleared SSC. Somehow, like any other crazy teenager, I didn't want to study further. But somehow parents, as parents, they will have anxiety. They wanted me to do something. Those days, engineering and medicine are the 2 things for all the intelligent boys and girls. So they wanted to be a doctor. I said nothing. So any parent would get really anxious. Since I was a little tall, it was difficult to thrash me, because I can easily escape. So after that, I started taking my decision, saying that my parents' condition will not change. As late as 72, for 2 primary teachers, the salary was 250 rupees. With this 250 rupees, they got all the 6 children educated. All the 6 children educated, all of them retired as gazetted officers. 2 primary school teachers living in the so-called God-forsaken place, living where there is not even water, proper water. They did it. I learned from them. A century ago, these people could take such decision. They studied, They started their own school, they ran it and earned a name, and they are equals. That is, my mother and father, both were teachers. So I learned from them 3 things. Don't worry about what your circumstances. Number 2, if you marry an equal. Don't go for anything less. Who would listen to you simply because you are an officer? No. You may be interested. I married my senior, not even my senior, my boss. I married my boss. When I was a probationer, I married by a joint collector. Joint collector trains a probationer. So this one, and again at the degree level, also I felt, fortunately, of course I have taken the advantage of the local situation. Those days, because of this Andhra Telangana agitation, we had 5 months of our colleges are closed. So nothing else to do. I went back. There was nobody at home because my parents were transferred to some other village. I was all alone, taking the cattle to the jungle, taking a book, collecting some odd things like some fruits, nuts from the jungle, eating it, and bringing the cattle back in the evening, milking them, heat it, drink a glass of milk, put the radio on, keep reading. Whether you like it or not, I read for 5 months. When I got bored, I read. When I wanted to read, I read. When I had to read, I read. But I thought that, okay, the major advantage I could get because of that was I could develop the habit of reading for pleasure. But I never realized reading for pleasure also could produce wonderful results and make you responsible. In those days, in the degree, second year you have languages exam. In the final year, the subjects exam. So in the languages exam in the second year, I got the university first. Who is this fellow? Somewhere a godforsaken place, when you have 122, 125 colleges in the university, a Chitafe boy coming from a village, topping the university, and then I realized, oh, reading for pleasure also could produce results. Because those days we used to use really nonsense. We used to read detective novels, sex books, and all kinds of nonsensical things like solving puzzles and circulating. Somebody would print that if you circulate this to other 10 people, you will get a prize, or you will get the blessings of the God. So we used to do all that nonsense, thinking that, why to lose when you get something else more? Of course, nothing came out of it. But then all this made me feel that do all the nonsense, at the end of it, remember, you have a goal. Do all nonsense, enjoy it, but at the end of it, remember that you have a goal. What is that goal? This year, now they have given me university first. So can I go back now in the third year? So I put a target for myself, at least first class. Those days only film heroes used to get first class in the degree, that is BA. Only cinema heroes, a poor mother, and that mother going for domestic help work and all that. And this fellow comes back and saying that, Amma, I passed in first class. Then I thought, why only in the movies? Why not us? I got first class. I got first class because of the responsibility. When I got the university first, that made me responsible. When a boy from this kind of a village could make or could achieve what all of us were trying their best for years together, I could achieve. So now I should do nothing less. I should go ahead. So I prepared so well. I thought that I didn't really do it justice to that exam. But fortunately, all that is gone. I got the first class. Then even at the first class also, then I again taken another decision. That decision was, I got very, very good marks in 2 subjects, less marks in 1 subject. I thought I'll take that subject. My classmates said, are you mad? When you got good marks in 2 subjects, take one of them at the post-graduation level. I said, in any case, whether I may not know entire thing about those subjects, but at least I did better. So I want to know this subject, which is where I got less marks. Because of that, I could get the job. That subject was economics. In all these social sciences, people prefer to take history, political science, public administration, sociology, whatnot, history. But I decided to take economics, which is called a tough subject among social sciences. But I took the decision. That gave me my first job as lecturer in the university, teaching economics to MA classes. And because of the local conditions in the university, I had to go out of the university. Practically, I was thrown out from the university because our universities, unfortunately, are cesspools of cost politics. Because of those, since we questioned that cost politics and all that, we were given low marks. Then even before getting the results, I thought, okay, goodbye SV University. I went to, those days they used to give third class ticket to and fro. Interview is in Delhi. If you get a seat, that's fine. If you don't get seat on the way back, you can see Taj Mahal. Both ways it's good, isn't it? At the cost of the government, if you go to Delhi, because how many could go to Delhi on their own? Those days, with my background, was it possible? No, it was not possible. But I decided to go to Delhi, but with a desire, with a fancy wish. What is that? If I get selected, well and good. If not, in any case, there is Taj Mahal. So I got both. I got selected. I saw Taj Mahal, came back. A year later, there was some interview in the university. I thought that there is no question of me getting the job for the simple reason I left the university because they have thrown me out, practically thrown me out. But my friends, they had a lot of hopes on me. If you don't get, who would? So they did everything for me as if I am doing a favor to them by signing the application form. They filled everything. they fill the application form. Those days, for every certificate, you have to get 6 copies. You have to enclose 6 copies, the two attested by a gazetted officer. And you have to enclose, what is that, postal order. With all that, I was not confident, but my friends were. But in the interview also, as expected, there was the same kind of caste politics and all that. But I took a decision, okay, it's better to, I should take on this man, my own professor. Who was an obstacle for me in that interview was my own professor, who gave me less marks. I decided that I should take on this man. I requested the Vice Chancellor. Those days, meeting a Vice Chancellor is just not possible. I requested the Vice Chancellor in the interview, sir, could you spare me 2 minutes? He said yes. Then I forgot that I was his student, started blasting him and also blackmailed him also. I blackmailed him saying that, look, you should be happy your student has gone to Delhi all the way, got admission in JNU, an institution like JNU, and that boy came back to you. When there was an opportunity, he came back to you. Instead of feeling happy, what are you saying? His argument was all the other people were waiting for some jobs in SU University there itself. And I left the university. I said, what kind of a logic is this? I went there, I equipped myself, I came back when there was an opportunity. You should be happy because your student did all this. So, but that man tried to prevail over, but I didn't allow him because all other professors, they realized, arey, this professor has a grudge against this boy, and what this boy is telling is true, and also he has the capacity to become a lecturer because if he is able to argue with his professor, can't he take a class, handle a class of postgraduate students? So they got the confidence, yes, and you won't believe I was made the first among equals. That means people with PhDs were there in the interview, people with gold medals were there who attended the interview, but I was made the first among the equals. So why I am saying all this? These are not achievements. These are all the things, results out of my own decision to face a problem, not running away, not running away, not blaming it on somebody, all the time saying that I am from a poor village, very backward village, there was nobody who guided us that there is an examination like UPSC. No, I never. The idea is, why I explained all this? Remember, you have the capacity. You have the capacity. Now try to build it to make it effective. Effective in the sense, recalling right information at the required time. Working hard doesn't mean reading all nonsense, reading all the time and reading and getting confused. No. Reading is not to get confused. Reading is to get the clarity. You should have clarity in mind. You should comprehend. So ultimately, in the end, what I would like to tell all of you is, you have all the things which we lacked, but you are in a better world. You are in a better world. So make use of it. at the same time it's a tough word. Compared to earlier days, it's a tough word. But at the same time, you are growing, or you have been growing up in the same tough world. So take a decision. Take a decision. Because ultimately, civil servants' ultimate objective is to take decisions, not to find escape, shortest or the nearest escape route. No, take decisions. Now you take decision about your life. The resources are your own confidence. One, never doubt yourself. Two, hard work will make you competent. Competence gives you confidence, and a confident man will be enthusiastic. Never lose enthusiasm in life. In whatever situation, be enthusiastic. This preparation is also the same thing. Actually, this preparation is only not even halfway. It's only just an entry pass. Real problems are there awaiting you once you enter the service. That phase, you can face that phase if you have your own personality. That personality is having that kind of an attitude of facing the problem instead of refusing to take the decision or escaping or taking the first flight. That's not the solution. So please, as once again, since it is a Independence Day, once again, I call upon you. You are the young country's citizens and the aspirants of a highest level service, and having an opportunity to come all the way here. How many people could come? In this country, how many people could really clear SSC or intermediate or even degree and come all the way to Hyderabad to take coaching? So remember always the positive things. Don't try to remember and crib over what you don't have. Make what you have doing more things for you rather than things which you lack dragging you back. Don't do that. So be enthusiastic, be active, be enthusiastic, and be confident. Confidence comes through hard work only. Always remember that. Confidence comes only through hard work. Hard work doesn't mean how many hours you have read. No, that's not. How much you have comprehended. How much you are able to express. Express in the sense, either in writing or in speaking. These three you must practice now. Reading, comprehending, expressing either in words or in writing. Once you do that, certainly you will make it. It's not that difficult. Again, I am reminding you, simply because I cleared it, I am not saying that. Once you focus on your personality, you will definitely make it. And it's a better place, it's a right place. I think Miss Sri Lekha, she identified a real good problem, that is mentoring. It's not just giving coaching in the subjects or loading you with tons and tons and tons of information. Instead, she has realized there is a problem of mentoring, that is how to prepare them mentally that they can. Second thing, while going through also, how to make them feel less stressful. Then at the third stage, while facing the examination also, they will do it with that kind of confidence of having the coaching. Since you have all the three, you are fortunate. I don't say I was unfortunate, I didn't go through any coaching centers because I couldn't afford. Because after all, I was working somewhere in Tirupati as a lecturer in the university. There is no question of they will not give you before you complete your probation. So there was no question of taking leave and then coming to Hyderabad and then preparing for the exam, because number one, no leave. Number two, there was no money. And those days, you wouldn't believe, even before seeing Hyderabad, I saw Delhi. And even before seeing my own Taluk headquarters, I saw my district headquarters. So always skipping the immediate thing, going out, jumping, taking a decision with enthusiasm. If there is a problem, face it. That is life. Taking a problem and giving a solution, taking all the people along. Now the final thing is, as I told you, getting into service is only an entry point. Most important thing, what kind of person you will become. That is number one. Be accessible to all. Whoever comes to you, they come to you with a hope that you are there to solve their problem. You are there because there is a good chair. You are not there because you are an IAS officer. You are not there simply because your Highness decided to be an IAS officer. Your Highness should remember that Highness is given because there are people with problems. So be accessible to all. Number two, listen. As somebody said, all the problems in the country is because of the administrators. They don't listen. They give a solution for everything. Even before listening to the other person, they give a solution to the problem. Ultimately, it is the solution that man has given is creating a problem. Many poor people, they face problems because officers don't listen. Listen. Even now, listen more. Number three, if you can solve the problem, solve it. If you cannot, show who could do it. That means be humane. Not just a human being. Be humane. So that's why I have given you three goals. Be confident of yourself. Number two, that remember that you have a goal. Number three, be humane. If you have all the three things in you all the time, never think that I am great. Never think that I am busy. Never think that I know everything. These three things, you have to take them out. Never think I cannot do. Never think that I know everything. Number three, escaping is an easiest solution. No. once you have this kind of attitude, ultimately it is the attitude. Ultimately it is the personality. Ultimately it is your work. Sensible and productive work, not just work. Some people all of a sudden in the midnight gets up and then start reading till morning. Then in the morning they fall asleep. Again at 10:30 they get up as if somebody is chasing. Don't have all that pressure. Read when you can read. Sleep when you can sleep. Eat what you want to eat. Be happy. Be confident. Be enthusiastic. You will make it. I have no doubt about it, because you are at the right place. Make use of it. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable insights. This is what we tell to our students always, like, read for pleasure, not with pressure. So
I know we all are feeling hungry. I am also feeling hungry. So we have arranged for some snacks while leaving. You can collect your snacks, soft drink, water bottle and a cake to commemorate our Independence Day. Sir, again, because as faculty we interact with them on a daily basis, sir. I always tell them what is there in the book can be learnt very easily, but what has been not written for some reasons, that can be learnt only from a guru, because that guru would have faced that in his or her personal life. So we expect you to come very often, sir. We would need your blessings at various stages of our preparation, be it prelims, mains or interview. Definitely we'll call you before the interview panel, sir. And sir has been one of the members of our interview panel. It is not the student who is attending the interview learning. We sitting next to him also we learn how to interview a person, how not to interview a person, what to ask and what not to ask. Spending time with him, though I have not spent much time with him, but whatever I could learn from him, as you know, the importance of being enthusiastic. Every one of us have problems, believe me. Maybe the problem of your neighbor is much more than you yourself, but the idea to live, the belief to live enthusiastically is very, very important. So be enthusiastically. Do not take the stress of UPSC so seriously. Believe me, it does not deserve that you should take stress for UPSC. I keep telling my students. So on behalf of all the students, we actually wanted to have a question answer session. If any student wants to ask anything in particular, they are free. Maybe 5-10 minutes we can spare. If not, then we all can break off. Anybody? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Please ask. Mike.
Could you repeat?
Pressures. Political pressure.
Okay. Political pressure. See, politicians are also part of the system. Whether we like it or not, they are part of the system. And our constitution makers, or all the great leaders at the time of independence, they sincerely believed that people are more knowledgeable, whether they're educated or not educated. So that's why elected people should be the decision makers, not the officers. Officers may be well read, but officers do not know what is the ground reality, what kind of problems people face, and some people may not be even able to express, and some people may not be able to approach an officer, but they can easily approach a politician. So that's why constitution makers thought, ultimately in a democracy it is the people's representatives who should ultimate decision makers. So there, once you accept this, what happens is you do your bit. That is, if you have to take a decision, take a decision. And then the person, if there is another person who has to approve it, leave it to him or her. Don't insist on that you are right, the person above you is wrong. He may be wrong, but remember, he has a right to be wrong. He has a right to be wrong. So, always remember that you are part of the system. When you are in the system, you have people above you, people below you. You should give confidence to the people below you, that guidance, and a kind of to your people who are above you, that you are amenable. You should not run amok simply because you have a position, simply because you have some authority. You should not run counter to the system. If you want to run counter to the system, get out of the system. Resign. Go out. Face the problems. That is different. But living within the system, you cannot expect to take a stand that you are right all the time and politician is wrong all the time. They may be wrong. Okay, it is their problem. So do your bit, as I told you, do your bit, keep the engine fit, leave it to the next man. If he takes a wrong decision, he will be hanged, not you. And you are not taking a decision by giving a kind of an oral advice. You are writing. That is there on the file. Once it is there on the file, nobody can question you. And second thing, dealing with a politician also, remember that he has his own problems. Because even now, people can't approach an officer easily than a politician. So he has his own problem in the sense, people come to him. He can't keep on quoting rules. We have the luxury of quoting rules, but they don't have that luxury of quoting rules all the time. So that's why, if he also starts telling people about rules, where should people go? So that doesn't mean we should ignore rules or break rules. No. Whether we can make the rule work depending on the situation. You need not break the rule. You need not ignore the rule. Whether you can make the rule work for this particular situation also. Ultimately, it's for the people's good. Rules are not for a rule's sake. Rule is ultimately to solve a problem, not to create a problem. But unfortunately, many people, since they are not sensitive, they see other problem as an opportunity to boss over, to show off. And picking up a fight with a politician will see your name in the headlines of the next day newspaper. Don't go for that kind of falling for publicity, self-promotion. No. I'm not saying that you should be totally anonymous. No, not necessary. But at the same time, don't crave for publicity. Don't think that you are more intelligent than the politician. There are two levels of intelligence called, one is your brain power. There is normal intelligence. Another is called emotional intelligence. What is it, emotional intelligence? Responding to a situation, keeping all the people in mind, not taking sides. Given the situation, given conflicting groups, given conflicting interests, how to make all these people feel, okay, given this situation, this decision is fair enough. We cannot take all the right decisions all the time. But at the same time, all the people should feel that what you are saying is okay, acceptable. So this makes you not only humane, you will be more happier there. Rather than fighting and losing an opportunity to work further, it is better to understand the other person, and it is better to accept him also the part of the system. Take a decision, your decision, and live it. And ultimately, if something good comes out of it, then you feel more happy. Rather than blaming the politician, it doesn't give you anything. If you really take the fight to higher levels, you will lose. That is the problem in our system. The politician's voice reaches the top people than your voice. And from then onwards, there are many people who took decisions, right decisions, but the way they conveyed gave an impression that you are arrogant, gave an impression that you are completely ignoring the other person. So these two things, because of the personality clash, so that's why do your bit and then leave it. Leave it. Don't keep it in your heart. You have to, because after all, you have to take people along. There is no other alternative. In real life or everywhere, we have to take people along. You can't keep thinking that you are right and others are wrong. That means you are wrong actually. If you keep thinking that all others are wrong and you are right, that means you are wrong, not all others are. And another interesting thing is, majority has the right to be wrong. Now we are going through that process in the country. Many people don't know ultimately what is happening in the name of politics, but they too have a right. So that's why remember that other person can be wrong, but he has a right. Accept it. Anybody else? See, first and foremost thing is because of the general economic development and popular movements, many people are getting some basics. But then the issue is there will always be comparison. 40 years back, many people must have, they may not have even food. Today they have food. But that is not a solution. You can't say, earlier you didn't have food, now you have food. Since they are able to see what is happening around, people's aspirations also have gone up. So, whoever comes up with a problem, don't ignore it. Whoever comes up with a problem. The future problems will be always small groups of people having their own problems. Don't try to brush it aside in the name of majority. Those problems are giving access to rare resources to all people. So there generally what happens is locally powerful people, they'll target you. So you have to find a way how to make all people access the resources. One, because these days resources like water, especially either drinking water or irrigation water, it's a major problem. Then land. So these two things, still it is the powerful people in the socially dominant communities who are able to make use of these two resources. Remember, if you are able to make other people also access these two resources, rest of the things can be used because of land and water. All those people who had land and irrigated land, they are the people who are now sitting here. So the base in India is land-based, water. So wherever it's possible, find solutions how everybody can get the access to resources. One. Second thing, see that people get quality service, not just service. Quality education, quality health, quality decision. Your decision should not only be a right decision, it should appear to be right decision. Many people think that I am right. But in public life, you cannot simply say yourself that I am right. Other people should feel that you are right. So that's why in the future, there will be many problems actually. There will be many problems. All those problems are from the small groups of people who have been neglected, who have been taken for granted. All such people will come to you for justice. You should find a solution by taking all the people in the system along. Your seniors, your juniors, public. And a major advantage now is the technology. Earlier, even if you take a good decision, by the time it reaches concerned people, you used to take a lot of time. Once I selected something like 360 or 370 people non-stop, even during the night also. Interviewed and put the list, thinking that I can prevent corruption. But 2 days later, what I found is many people collected money from those people who got selected. What kind of impression that gives? All those people who couldn't get, they'll feel that who gave money could get selected, and who couldn't pay, they were not selected. But what I was thinking, I did a lot of hard work and sat through the whole night, completed the list. Earlier, each individual used to be sent the letters about selection. But I made it public on the same night, thinking that I did a great job. But that didn't really produce the results what I wanted. But now it happens because of the technology. If you send the list to somebody in WhatsApp, within minutes, it reaches everywhere. So that's why you will have more problems. There is no doubt about it. But that problems needs your patient hearing. You should know what are the issues, because see, in the system, though people's representative has the final decision making, it depends on you what kind of advice you give. You are expected to give a better solution which is approved by the politician. So naturally there is more responsibility on you. You have to face the problems, find a better solution, and then in the future try to make use of the technology. Many people may not be having that kind of technical expertise, but at least learn the basics in technology so that you can reach faster to more people. These are the three things which you must, whether you like it or not, whether you are not able to do it or not, you will be forced to do these three things. Facing a problem, solving it amicably, and the decision reaching all the people quickly, as early as possible. These things will prevent corruption as far as possible. So face. Anybody else?
So what's your opinion on Plan B? Nowadays people are completely into the UPSC preparation and they are having some issues like depression, what is our next plan if we are not getting into the services. What is your opinion on Plan B? Is it good to having a Plan B or keeping completely face on it?
When your plan A is good, you will succeed in plan A. If you don't succeed for various reasons, actually, even with great preparation also, there are many people who couldn't get it. Your plan B will succeed for the simple reason you are equipped. For various reasons, you may not get it. That doesn't mean you are not capable. That's why even UPSC also is giving, taken a policy decision. All those people who could make into all India services, they can be given opportunity in the public sector undertakings because these people have been tested. Only thing is, there is a simple difference of some, they got less marks, maybe 3 marks, 4 marks. So that's why here what we must remember is plan B should always be there. Yes, you need to have. Do not spend all the time on this unless you are confident that you are on the right way. Aspiration alone will not take you where you want. And plan less preparation is also not going to take you where you want. Simple passion also will not take you where you want. So that's why what you have to do is certainly have plan B. But there you will succeed for the simple reason this preparation will be most helpful in the plan B. But when you are preparing, think that your plan A works. Make it work. Not works. Make it work. Once plan A works, and you can go for plan B anytime. That's why I'm saying don't entertain doubts. You can. For the simple reason, we are at the right place now. We are at the right place. Only thing is, keep all those doubts aside. Focus. Focus with enthusiasm. I can do it. And you can do it. And don't read when you are not able to read. Don't read. Relax. Then take up when you feel refreshed. Refreshed mind is more important, not pressurized mind. Ultimately, it is your attitude, how you take things, instead of how hard you work. With an easy mind, if you prepare, you find a solution. If you have pressurized mind, you will find a solution which could be partial, not impartial. So don't do that. Don't have that kind of. Certainly have plan B, because life and society and various things are uncertain. There are many people who did PhDs and great acquired many degrees, but they couldn't clear even the prelims. That is there. But that doesn't mean when you are on the way, don't entertain doubts about what happens if there is a turn. There will be a turn. Cross. When you have to cross, be enthusiastic. That is the very thing of life, is taking things as they come, rather than imagining problems, rather than running away from the problems. Don't imagine problems. Life is not easy. Life is not easy. That doesn't mean we should escape. If you apply your mind, you will find a solution. While applying mind, remember, all these problems have been faced by many people earlier. Many people will be facing it later. Why not me? Many people say that why only me? Why this problem? Because you are a human being. You are also a person. You are part of a society. So naturally, you will also face a problem. So at that point of time, don't pity yourself and don't blame it on others. Don't run away. These are the three options. Don't do these three things. Face it. That is life. Actually, these days, many intelligent boys, intelligence is not everything. Remember that. Intelligence is not everything. Emotional intelligence is the thing which makes you a person who can live like a human being. Otherwise, you will be scaring yourself. And you will be scaring all others also. Don't do that. Have plan B. But don't mix up. When you are on plan A, don't do that half a day this, half a day that. No, don't do that. Anybody else?
Sir, what is the thing that always keep you motivated every day to start a day with the same enthusiasm, joy and happiness?
Okay. When you get up, whatever you see, take it as the reality of the day. Take it as the reality of the day. That means accept it. Once you accept it, the burden of your mind will come down. Every human being will have that kind of a surprise and immediate kind of a shock. But you should be able to come out of it as quickly as possible. Then, once you accept it, slowly you start working on it. By thinking or overthinking or brooding over it will not make you happy. Start working on it. Accept it, that there is a problem. Number 2, start working on it instead of brooding or instead of blaming somebody else. Start working on it. Your mind works. Once your mind works, slowly you started feeling happiness. You feel happy, yes, because you are achieving something. It is your achievement which makes you happy. How will you achieve? By working, not by stopping, not by worrying. When there is something before you, Face it. Even for happiness also, it is in us. That's why there are three things. When you can change something, change it. When you cannot change it, accept it. When there is a possibility of changing it with the help of others, take the help of others. Don't run counter. Straightness or straightforwardness doesn't mean going straight and hitting against a wall, breaking your nose and neck, and telling the whole world that I am quite straight and straightforward. I don't want to bend anywhere. I don't want to take a turn. Ultimately, what are you doing? You are harming yourself. You are making others also feel that this straightforwardness, it's foolish. Straightforwardness is not foolish. Even in straightforwardness also, you should know where to bend. How to make yourself happy. That comes only when you start working. Not by sitting and brooding over it. How difficult it is. For example, sometimes all of a sudden, our spouse may die. All of a sudden, our parents may die. These are all natural. We get shock. But you have to come out of it as quickly as possible and get things done. Then later you feel relaxed because you did your best. Not by sitting and weeping and crying indefinitely, you are not showing more love. By getting the things done in a proper way, there you are showing your love. Love is not in words. Love is not in crying. Love is not in blaming others. Love is there in work. Keep working. That gives you happiness. Come what may, whatever is the day, whatever is the problem. Because in the world, any number of people don't see the other day. But they sleep, go to bed with confidence that they would get up. There was some small joke in a movie. A chronic drunkard. That fellow goes to a doctor. He asks him, "Sir, should I stop drinking?" "Yes, that is the best solution." "Okay, sir, since you asked me to stop drinking, can I have 2 drinks today?" He said, "You cannot have. Since you are insisting, what you do is take 3 drinks. There is no need to get up in the morning tomorrow. You will not face the problem of getting up early in the morning and tomorrow." So that's why problems are there. Ultimately, problem is life. Life is a problem. Accept it. Anybody else? Enjoy life. At the end of it, what I want to tell all of you is enjoy life. Enjoy doing things. Enjoy doing things. Only results will make you happy. Any amount of thinking will not make you happy. A person who thinks more will be more miserable. A person who thinks more will be more miserable. However little he could do something, he'll be happy. Make yourself happy. Don't seek solutions every day for happiness. Keep working. You will be happy. Anybody else? My only suggestion to all of you is enjoy life. Enjoy life. Life is there to enjoy, not to worry. And IAS is not everything. Remember, IAS is not everything. It's not everything. There are many hundred other things. There are any number of people who got into service and 3-4 years later resigned and then doing something and making a name for themselves. So, this is not everything, but when you are preparing, remember that it is everything. Though it is not everything, when you are preparing, your whole world should be that alone. Go ahead. Okay, I think now it's already 1:30. Yeah? So it's time for you people to have your happy lunch. So, and another thing is maintain good health. As an officer, happiness comes out of health. All the time. Try to have that kind of a physical fitness every day, at least for 10 to 15 minutes. A fit body will be happy. Many people, they think that they are busy, that's why they don't know. However busy you are. You know Thomas Jefferson? You know Thomas Jefferson? The second president of USA. That man said, rain or shine, spare 2 hours a day for yourself. That means relax, take physical exercise and do nothing. Do nothing. Unfortunately, our people drilled into our mind we should be doing something all the time. No. Do nothing. Every day, do nothing for half an hour or 1 hour. Even if you are preparing for this exam. That freshen up your mind. So be fresh. You are all looking fresh. Be fresh. And I am quite confident. Most of you will make it. People who couldn't make it, not because they are not capable. For various reasons. It's okay. If you couldn't make it, it's okay. That's not everything. It's okay. Shall we stop it? Stop it here? Right? Wish you great life and wish you an opportunity to make this country a better place, and wish you the people who are responsive to fellow human beings. Ultimately be humane, not just officers. Who bothers? You know, there is one thing. In the chess game, you have, what is that? The king and the prime minister and a pawn. After the end of the game, what happens? All the three will be put in the same box. King, prime minister and the pawn. Pawn is the lowest, isn't it? Sipai, the lowest category. King is the highest category. But at the end of the game, all the three will be put in the same box. That is life. So don't worry. Go ahead. All the best.
I hope we all got valuable inputs and enough motivation and strength to achieve our dreams, right? No? Yes. Good. As it is an interactive session, you have to tell me whether you got it or not. Yes or no? Yes. Good. Then go home, start reading for pleasure, and be enthusiastic to learn new things every morning.
I would like to call upon our Executive Director, Shashireka Abburi ma'am, on the dais to deliver vote of thanks.
Sir, thank you so much. Like, it is a great honor to be able to listen to your wonderful journey, achievements, and experiences in both your personal and professional lives on this day that we all commemorate and are proud of. So I take this opportunity and privilege on the behalf of Ekam management to express our gratitude to Dr. A.Vidyasagar Garu, IAS retired Special Secretary of Andhra Pradesh, has taken this time to grace this event and address the students. So we sincerely thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your beautiful words which were inspirational and encouraging, especially when you addressed us as children, but at the same time reminding ourselves the responsibilities towards the nation and how you have told the importance of women empowerment and how it has grown in the recent times, becoming an integral part of our society. And also how you have told to build the confidence levels, one's confidence levels, to ultimately thrive and strive. I definitely believe our students also got an opportunity to learn from you and find inspiration and courage to go ahead with their UPSC journey with utmost sincerity and hard work. So I take this moment to thank our students by making this event much more impactful by your active participation and also undivided attention. I also thank our dear faculty for their continuous efforts to guide, mentor, and help our students to excel with knowledge and also the intellect they are in need of. Last but not least, a big round of applause to our Ekam management team for putting this event together and making it successful. Thank you one and all, and I wish you again Happy Independence Day. Jai Hind.